of 24 hours. They're here to race for their countries and to see which one can break the world endurance record. This is the 24 Hours of Aspen, and they'll race right through the night. It's almost 3 miles from top to bottom, and they'll hit speeds of 80 miles per hour. It's the annual endurance challenge of alpine ski racing. Welcome to ESPN's World of Skiing and one of the most grueling endurance events in the entire world of sports. It's the Range Rover 24 Hours of Aspen. Hello everybody, I'm Bob Beatty, standing on top of Aspen Mountain on an absolutely spectacular day. We're here for a very unusual ski racing event. Usually in ski racing we see the guys going down one run, but here they're going to be going down for 24 hours. They may get as many as 80 runs in. Well, there are 2 men each from 7 different countries being represented. They want to see which country is the toughest. But they're here to represent also a fundraising effort for a very worthy cause, for MS, multiple sclerosis. Teams are getting ready for the start. It's going to be a long, long 24 hours for them. 2-man teams from 7 different countries, from Japan, Austria. Seeing the Austrian racer getting ready up there now. Racers are preparing, and we see the Swiss racer who's had some problems with his knee, trying to make sure that it'll hold up for, well, over 80 runs. Also from Canada, Germany, and of course the United States.
Root boy, getting loose, man. Loose the root boys, no lazy blood clots here.
Well, the Canadian racers are always loose and relaxed. We'll see how they are when they start down the mountain, particularly when it gets about midnight. There are 2 different titles at stake here today, for the individual who can make the most runs and also for the team who combine the most runs down the mountain. And Andy Mill is working with us today. He's the starter.
And what they have done, just on behalf of the Aspen Skiing Company and of the friends at Range Rover, welcome to the Range Rover 24 Hours of Aspen to be raising monies for MS.
And my good friend, Ed Bradley, is going to set things off today, but I have a feeling that Ed's only going to take 1 run down the mountain.
Yes, trying to get ready.
All right. Are we all in order?
Leading things off, the team from Austria, number 1, Werner Senn, and number 2, Hans Wallinger. These racers have had lots of experience, and Senn at 33 is one of the oldest in the competition.
If you are in a good health and you can help people, they are sick or they have multiple sclerosis, and I think you are a rich man if you are health. And if you can do anything for such people, it makes me stronger too.
Both Senn and Wallinger were here last year, and like most of the racers here are really caught up in the cause. A lot of people have come out in Aspen to wish everybody well. What a beautiful day. And the conditions here in Aspen, Colorado, probably the best they've been for this time of year in many, many years. Here are the Canadians, Chris Kent and Rob Tooke, looking very loose and relaxed.
Okay, gentlemen, ski well, ski safely. It's a long day.
Canadians were here last year. Some said they had more fun and weren't that serious.
We're not going to go hell-bent every run. I mean, we will be in as low as tucks as we can for the opening few runs and then go to a higher profile tuck, I think, to conserve energy and concentrate on just getting into the gondola quick. That was what we probably lost a fair bit of time with last year. Trying to pick up dates, you know, and make sure we have somebody to go to the party with the next night. It was slowing things down a tad, so that's what we'll do.
Later in the night, that gets you don't think about much else besides survival, right?
Yeah. I found my mind was wandering a little too much as I was skiing down, and I want to try to be just zeroed in as we're up, you know, skiing. Because I almost crashed a couple times by letting things wander.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Canadians seem a lot more serious this year. We'll see what kind of shape they're in. Each team will start at 2-minute intervals, but each one of them will receive a full. Farther down the course is the Austrians on a part called Dipsy Doodle, and you can see how closely they are to each other. Amazing when you think that they're going to be going well over 80 miles an hour. Now this drafting helps the second person rest. As a matter of fact, you can see him stand up a little bit. He doesn't have to use the same kind of energy.
Okay, good luck,
and then the
guys.
Swiss.
Ski well, ski safely. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hensley and Jan Kindschi. Kindschi was actually born right here in Aspen, Colorado. His father was a ski instructor. They both live in Davos, Switzerland now, and in 1988 they set the record, 81 laps down the mountain. The German team is experienced, Peter Krinninger and Peter Stiefl.
Let's count them down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Krinninger is 36 years of age, but these two men have raced many times before in long-distance events in Europe. Also during the summer in bicycle events. And it's the Swiss on Dipsy Doodle. Kindschi is only 23 years of age, 13 years younger than Peter Krinninger. And you can see this drafting. It's, again, so important because it gives the man behind a chance to rest, and they're going to need that rest over a 24-hour period.
Ski well, guys, ski well. Let's count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the Japanese are off. Takasou, number 9, and Kajikawa, number 10. Kajikawa is the youngest competitor in the competition, only 20 years of age. Looks like a ski patrol man wants to get right in there and go with him. This is the U.S. team, Scott Nichols and Ed McCaffrey. They're both here from Aspen, and they have a lot of hometown fans. And McCaffrey at the top, whooping it up. He has lots of reasons to be happy. His father has MS. He started this event to support that charity, but he also wants to win.
So we want to win. Everybody wants to win. I mean, I don't think anybody comes here for the party except for maybe the Canadians. Those guys are too much for us. But basically what we're saying is that, you know, we're not going to go up there and punish ourselves in sub-zero degree temperatures and be up there to where your muscles are cramping and you're aching and you're sick to your stomach for second or third place. I want to win, and that's what I like about Nichols. When we go in the weight room, we want to win. That's what we're going up there for. We want to win, and we're doing this for MS, sure, but basically we want to win this ski race. And it's going to be tough. The Germans are tough, the Austrians are tough, the Swiss are tough, but so are we.
Both are very determined. They've trained for months and months getting ready for this competition. They're also both 33 years of age. And a big send-off for the U.S. team. And the Germans, so experienced, so good in this type of skiing, and so strong. And then the team from France.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The final team, these two racers are from Chamonix, as Franco Obert and Patrice Berguerand. Not much is known about the French team. They just entered at the last moment. Further down, it's the U.S. team. They certainly know this mountain. They've been up and down through their lives hundreds and hundreds of times. And a good tight tuck. At the bottom, the Germans coming in and getting on the gondola. They'll probably do this at least 80 times. And this is where the scramble is very important. But at the top, it's the team from Austria. A little bit confused finding the right kind of skis. That time getting on and off the lift is so important. The 24 hours of Aspen is underway. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The Range Rover 24 Hours of Aspen. This ESPN Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Range Rover, the most sensible driving car in the world. And by Bud Light, everything else is just a light. It could not be a more beautiful day for the competitors who are competing for 24 hours, 32 degrees. It could not be more beautiful here in Aspen, Colorado on the course, going all the way from the top to the bottom of the mountain, 2.7 miles and over 3,200 vertical drop. And remember, they're going to be doing this over 80 times. Here's a great look at the race course as Andy Mill takes one of our ESPN cameras down the run. Andy?
Bob, it's so exciting to ski fast again. It's been probably about 7 or 8 years since I was going in a straight line. The 24-hour skiing, basically they go from the top of Ajax to the bottom as fast as they can, straight down through Spar Gulch. And at 80 miles per hour is one thing, but trying to carry a camera is another. It was really a lot of fun.
Well, this isn't exactly like World Cup skiing. It's sort of a straight shot down there.
Exactly. World Cup skiing, you have high precision turns, jumps, and whatnot, but in MS 24-hour skiing, the record is the man who skis the most vertical footage in a period of 24 hours.
This is the way the racers see and hear it when they're hitting top speed. It's a lonely experience. Andy getting down to Kleenex Corner created another problem.
It's very difficult, Kleenex Corner, because you're carrying a lot of speed in there. Most of the guys are very, very tired, and they came in with too straight of a line, throwing the skis sideways, and then basically losing all their speed. That's where I came from behind. I could catch up to the American skiers.
Thanks, Andy. This is Ed McCaffrey on the bottom part of the course, Little Nell. You can see Aspen right in the finish line. We're a few hours into the competition. Only 22 hours to go. As we can see on the right, McCaffrey is about to pass a ski racer. That's Kajikawa of Japan. You have to kind of slow down a little bit because there's not much room at the bottom. And we can see Kajikawa. He's been passed by the U.S. team. In all fairness, though, he's not the better of the two Japanese skiers. That one is Takasou, and he likes to go fast.
I like fast.
Why?
Why? What's English? I don't know.
Thrill?
Yeah, feel is good. Okay.
The same as riding a motorcycle?
Yes, I like motorcycle. I like Harley Davidson. It's good bike.
Well, it's not a Harley Davidson out here today. It skis, and it skis for 24 hours.
Sandy is at lift.
Takasou is not in a great tuck. He'll get more experience, though. He's quite young. But two men who have a lot of experience are the German team. Look at how closely they are behind each other. No wasted motion there. These two Germans from Garmisch, Germany, have raced many times together, and they really understand the strategy of this sport.
You don't have to, if you're behind the partner, you don't have to concentrate on the course itself. You just concentrate on your partner. You see, when he is in trouble, you have to be a little more careful. And you don't have to be in the real position going down all the way. So you can relax a little bit and can go a little easier that way.
The Japanese racer Takasou, coming down at the finish line, is going to have to take a lot more caution, or he's not even going to be around to finish this race. But he still seems to be sprinting. At the top, though, it's the Swiss team. Hensley's having trouble getting into his skis and loses a lot of precious time right there. This is something you don't want to do. But the lifts keep on running. It takes about 15 minutes to get to the top. It's a good chance to talk things over with your teammate.
We've passed one of the Japanese. We should get the other one here in another run or two. We're keeping an eye on the Germans. They get a second or two, and then they lose a second or two, so we're only into it a couple hours. We'll have to wait and see. One run at a time, though.
We feel strong. We're feeling good. This is looking good.
Nice.
We're right where we want to be, so it's real early, but I'm having fun.
The light is starting to get flatter farther down. These are the Canadians. Chris Kent leading Rob Tooke, but Tooke is getting a little bit behind. They're not going to be taking advantage of the drafting here.
You're on the right, Ed.
How's everything?
Great. Everything's fine. Thanks very much.
Ed and Scott getting out of the gondola, but things aren't going that great, particularly for Scott. Every little mistake will count later on. In the gondola, it's the Canadians. It seems like up and down this mountain they go. Stay with us. We'll be back. Aspen, the Alpine Lodge, owned by Jim and Christine Martin, played host to the racers earlier in the week for a very special meal. For the Japanese, it wasn't the typical Japanese fare, but they had a great time. A little carbo loading, guys. And Norwegian star Stein Eriksen came by to wish them well. The standings after 5 runs down Aspen Mountain, the Swiss in first place, Germany second, France in third, and the United States fourth, but how close they are. But it's a few hours later now. The light is beginning to fade as they come out of the gondola. They'll be in and out of the good light and the bad light. The Canadians are calling for pine browse. It's getting that bad on the lower part of the course where it's so shady, but it doesn't seem to be bothering the Austrians. Farther down, going into Kleenex Corner, it's Ed McCaffrey. It appears as though he's passed the Japanese racer Takasou. Takasou and his partner have not had that much experience ski racing. Some of the teams seem to be splitting up, something they didn't want to do. And here we have Franco Obert from France, and he's left his partner behind. The 2 French racers come from Chamonix, France. They're both mountain men. They weren't even supposed to be here. They were last-minute replacements.
The second racer in the team break a leg just before, so I come at this place.
When I asked Berguerand earlier this week why his voice was so bad, he said, well, maybe I've been partying too much in Aspen. But he's rushing now and trying to stay right in there, getting on this lift. Meanwhile, the Swiss, nothing seems to bother them. They're in the fastest part of the course, right side by side. Maybe they're talking it over. The pine boughs are helping the visibility. It is really getting tough to see. Rob Tooke coming around the last turn. The big shush into the finish, but he is hurting. He's not in a very deep tuck. Not a very good thing to do when you're going so fast. Meanwhile, Chris Kent is in the gondola, but by himself. He'll be riding up alone. As Rob Tooke comes down, we can see more and more that he's having trouble. He's complaining about his back. The sun is out on the other side of the mountain, even though it's not so hot here as it continues to drop. One skier, though, didn't mind a bit. Reggie, good to see you up here on the mountain. How's your skiing?
It's not bad, you know, Bob. As a matter of fact, I'm getting pretty decent. I would say I'm a real good intermediate.
But on a mountain like this, it's starting to get a little bit cold, and these guys are going to be skiing for 24 hours. Can you imagine anything like that?
No, I cannot. I really can't, no matter what it is in baseball. I guess maybe the dog days of August when it's 100 degrees, it's in New York, it's 95% humidity. George Steinbrenner is angry. You're playing the Red Sox, you're in the 19th inning, and somebody's throwing bullets, and you're working on an 0 for 6.
Reggie, one racer who seems to know exactly what you're talking about is Rob Tooke from Canada. He's having a lot of problems. It's questionable how far he's going to be able to go.
I think I got it. Don't push it too hard. Take her easy, baby.
Tooke isn't even trying to get into a tuck up here.
Okay, let's get those done.
But his teammate Kent is in a tuck and flying. Former Canadian team member. Tooke at the bottom. Has to retire.
I caught an edge about the second run and just tweaked my back, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And there's a few rollers that I kept pounding on, and I have a sore back to begin with, and it just kept getting worse. I rode up with one of the masseuses here, and he did a lot of work, and he fears I may have a herniated disc, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. So I couldn't get in a tuck. I couldn't even stand up to ski, so I had to bail out.
Tough break for Rod Tooke, but this means that his partner, Chris Kent, will have to go it alone for 20 hours.
I kind of dreaded being by myself coming into the event, because I just remember the lonely hours of the dark night. And if last year, if I was on my own, I would have gone crazy.
The Swiss at the top of the mountain, they aren't lonely. They have each other to race down, and they look stronger than ever. As the sun is setting here in Aspen, Colorado, and the lights have come on, the 24 hours of Aspen continues. Earlier this week, the Jerome Hotel was the site of a Western-style black tie fundraising dinner to raise money for multiple sclerosis. The racers took their minds off ski racing for a few minutes. An auction added to the fundraising effort. And the evening was capped off with a performance by the Neon Cowboy. After 25 laps, the Swiss have the lead. But how about Chris Kent from Canada? He's only 23 seconds behind. "7:50 p.m., still 16 hours and 10 minutes to go. Kajikawa from Japan, chased by the two Austrians, Senn and Wallinger. A 20-year-old chased by two veterans over 30. And the U.S. team, the wind is starting to pick up. Looks like the U.S. team is losing a little bit of energy, not getting down in that tuck quite as fast. Obert from France is skiing steadily and catching up on the Americans. Down at the bottom, though, skiing right together, the Swiss team. They never seem to falter. And now Obert has passed the Americans. He leads McCaffrey and Nichols through Spar Gulch. The sound of the skis tells the story. Chris Kent is skiing alone, but he seems strong. Not happy with his result last year. Looks like he's in a lot better shape. As a matter of fact, he looks like he's in better shape than a lot of the others. At the bottom, the U.S. team is slowing down. And they're having trouble. They couldn't get the door open. That means they're going to lose all of the time between one gondola and the other. When things go bad, they just seem to mount.
Well, Ed's not feeling too well, and let's see, other than that, the course is still real fast, and we've had a couple bad lucks with gondola, meeting the gondola. We had one that didn't open, and French guy's very impressive. Yep. Unbelievable. Yes, unbelievable. So, I don't know what time it is, but at that pace, it's a pretty healthy pace. We'll see by himself. It's just a fun time, you know. I'm really enjoying it. It's not every day you get to go fast like this with no obstructions in the way, so it's a good time, you know. And we worked out hard to do it. I don't think we're in the place that we want to be in right now, but it's a while till we're done. So who knows what'll happen. It's difficult, but I'm not giving up.
Where am I, right or left?
McCaffrey having trouble getting out of the gondola. It's getting tougher and tougher for the U.S. team. Racing continues through the night as the U.S. team keeps on struggling. McCaffrey has trouble getting out of the gondola. The long event is taking its toll, but the race continues. Stay with us. The competition, 12 hours to go. Mountain sure does look beautiful with these lights on. Only for this occasion. At the top, it's the team from Germany. They are sure strong, and they've done this many times before. No slowing down for them. Kleenex Corner is right above us. The town is in sight, and the racers are skiing through the night. They must be getting pretty tired. But right behind us, some people who aren't getting tired at all. They're at the Kleenex Corner Hospitality Suite.
Your coffee, Mr.
Oh,
Buddy.
thank you very much. Let's go inside and join everybody. Well, the racers certainly have to keep going, but that doesn't mean the spectators do. They took a break by coming up the mountain for this specially erected night spot. Good food and wine. And what would you expect right below Kleenex Corner? Special service right to your table.
Cheers to the racers.
Well, one racer who is coming along steadily, not too fast, but keeps right on going, Franco Obert from France, skiing all by himself. For the racers, this is the toughest part of the entire 24 hours. Not because it is any faster. The speed doesn't change much. It's because of the monotony. Riding the lift and going down over and over again. Concentration is difficult. The racers are getting tired, and it seems as though daylight will never come. After 40 runs down Aspen Mountain in less than 12 hours, the racers keep going. And less than 1 minute separate the top four. This could be quite a finish, and they could break a world record. Remember, that's 81 laps down the mountain. Last year, during the 24 hours of Aspen, it was a different story here. It snowed heavily, particularly late at night. Fearing for the health of the competitors, the race was held up. They sat around and waited. And then it was restarted. But the snow was deep, and they didn't go very fast, and it kept snowing. Finally, after 12 hours, the race was canceled, and the Germans were declared the winning team. But the competitors are back again this year. They want to do this for 24 hours. But right now, the Germans aren't very happy like they were last year.
You know, the U.S. team, the Frenchman was coming after the U.S. team. We stopped them, we turned them around.
Apparently, the Germans are unhappy because one of the gondola operators mistakenly closed the door before they were able to get in. They lost a lot of time, but they're losing even more now while they're having this argument. They're threatening to leave. Meanwhile, it's the Swiss, one looking over the shoulder at his teammate, but they're all getting tired.
Right now we have also to fight really hard. Hurts all over the body. Yeah. I almost can't, I don't know how to sit in here. Every position hurts.
You gonna stay together?
Yeah.
Stay together till
sure.
The whole race?
So long we can. Yeah.
You happy with your partner?
Sure. Jan is great. He's a strong guy. I'm a little bit older.
Canadian Chris Kent coming down the mountain by himself. His teammate Rob Tooke is out with an injury. He's getting tired, but fortunately has a good sense of humor.
I've just sort of established a groove, and I'm sort of sitting here in a mental cocoon, and I'm just sticking with it. And
That's what you did all through high school, wasn't it?
yeah, that's pretty much it. But on the other hand, too, if you're traveling alone, it's a bit easier to scam in the gondola ahead of where you might normally.
Yeah, get that last one.
And it's really, if you can get on one gondola ahead, that brings you about 10 to 15 seconds of advantage there.
The Germans are back on the gondola. They've decided to rejoin the race. They're going to be credited with the amount of time they lost, but they've lost a lot of momentum. It's been a big week in Aspen. Etta James came to perform. And there was a big disco party at the new tattoo club. The racers were there loosening up too.
It was a time to...
Colorado, it's the middle of the night. Welcome back to the 24 Hours of Aspen. It takes a lot of people to assist on a race like this. 240 volunteers. Most races only take 2 hours. How about this one? 24 hours. They do all kinds of things to help the racers, but more than anything else, they encourage them when they need it most. Volunteers are tired also, but they're part of the 24 Hours of Aspen. It's a very rich experience for them, and they're here for a very good cause, to help support multiple sclerosis. The gondolas keep going round and round. Peter Krinninger from Germany out at the top, but he's not with his partner. Peter Stiefl is left behind.
Are you okay?
I'm okay so far, huh?
You need someone to ride down with you?
No, I'm just fine, huh? No problem.
Hey, buddy, what's up? Done?
My head is just like, I don't know, exploding. Can you get me a coffee? Oh, yeah, coffee, it's great. Well,
15 hours, man.
not really problems with skiing. Not at all. No problems with the legs, nothing at all. Not my head exploding if I'm going over the bumps or Kleenex corner. It's like, wow, I don't know. Never happened before, never had problems with stuff.
And this field is starting to get split apart. The Austrians have split up, and Hans Wallinger is racing by himself. His teammate Senn is at the bottom, getting on the gondola, but so are the Americans. The problem is, when the gondola stops every so often, very briefly, it causes the racers to catch up. And right behind the Americans, the Swiss. This should be exciting when they get to the top. Back on the course, Chris Kent has just passed one of the Japanese, and he is really flying down here. Interestingly enough, the racers say that they can see pretty well at this time of night. The lights do a good job. Let's take a look at the standings after 50 runs. The two Swiss are in first place, right behind the Canadian. United States is in sixth. When the gondola takes even a momentary pause, then it makes the racers all bunch up, as we saw at the bottom of the race course. And as they get to the top, there are 6 racers who are all caught together, all clamoring to get off and get on their skis. So now, instead of having 2 going close together, we have 6 bunched right in there. This should be interesting. But all alone on the course is Peter Krinninger from Germany, skiing by himself because his teammate had to drop out.
All I can do is go straight and keep on running. And what else should I do? I go for the record now.
Another who's going for the record, Chris Kent. He's on the course and looking strong. But how about the 6 coming down together in the middle of the night? The leader looking around a little bit. He's worried. That's one of the Swiss. The wind is picking up. This is colorful racing, and the fans are enjoying it too.
My name is Igor, it's Andrew. We are from Russia, from Moscow and St. Petersburg. And we don't have competitions like this. And it's very nice that in the United States we can see these competitions turn out. Incredible. Thank you.
Oh, yes, guys, this is nice. If you look at...
Even the Soviets are here, and as the crescent moon sets in Aspen, Colorado, that means the sunrise is just around the corner. Stay with us. At the top of Aspen Mountain, the 24 Hours of Aspen continues. The sun is coming up. They've been going for 18 hours now as Canadian Chris Kent gets on the lift at the bottom. He's getting stronger and stronger as the race goes on. Peter Krinninger, though, is leaving the race course.
You're finished?
Yeah, I finished.
Too much?
Huh?
Too tired?
No, not too tired. You see, I'm in a very good condition. In a very good condition. I wanted to. I'm here for the record, and not to be in 7th place. when they don't count the gondola things. You know, there's a Bavarian word for it. It means Kasperltheater, and that's what it is.
Well, Krinninger's obviously not very happy. When the gondola stopped, he thought he was going to be credited with more time, and here he is in 5th place. Not exactly where he planned to be, almost 5 minutes out. There was some confusion as to which gondola the racers would go in once it started up again, first or farther down.
The racers on their own decided to meet prior to the event, and they decided that once they came to the gondola, if the gondola had stopped, that they could assume whatever positions at that point in the gondola they want to. Basically, they're taking advantage of the mechanical aspects of the race, which is a factor, and it's a unique part of this race.
Sure is a factor, but as the sun comes up, the U.S. is behind Werner Senn. Maybe the sun coming up will give the racers a little bit of a chance to get a little testy in there. At the top, though, and he just keeps on going, Chris Kent from Canada.
Oh, Christ, how about that? Just my alarm.
Time to get
out. Well, you know, I got fatigue in my legs and fatigue in the back, the neck, but it's not overwhelming, and I make it down every run.
You're right in there between 81, 82 laps going for the record.
Is that the pace that we're on?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully 82, huh?
Yeah. It looks like he definitely has that record in mind. Sun getting brighter and brighter at the top of the mountain. Obert from France. Doesn't seem to ever be going too fast, but he sure is steady. Actually, the racers say that the light is tough down here. As we see the Swiss on Dipsy Doodle. They are going fast. They have the team lead.
I mean, we fight so long and so hard, and we really close to and have the chance to win. We sure want to try to win this. I mean, that's something special. You can tell your friends at home and the families what we did, and maybe we also get in the record book. And I mean, that's something what you did, and it's not for everybody.
Will it be the Swiss who get that world record, or will it be the lone Canadian, Chris Kent? 1 more hour to go. Stay with us.
Now we're here to cheer on these guys for 24 hours. Most people can't even stay awake for 24 hours, let alone ski for 24 hours. These guys are heroes.
I sure agree to that one. The final hour of the 24 hours of Aspen is here, and one man can't wait for it to be over.
After the race, I take the big shower, the jacuzzi. I'm sleeping. After the big party, the tattoo.
Something to look forward to. In the meantime, his teammate, Berguerand, is not in such a hurry to get to the tattoo. He's passing the U.S. team, McCaffrey and Nichols. Chris Kent, though, is in a big hurry to get down the mountain. He wants that record. He's flying. But right behind him, the Swiss team. They're only a few seconds behind, too. And they want that record, and they're young and strong. 80 laps. One more to tie the record. And as the United States team comes down for their 80th lap, the crowd is really into it. They're out here to cheer for the racers, but also to support multiple sclerosis. Another big supporter of MS is the event sponsor and the president of Range Rover, Charlie Hughes. Charlie, good to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here. What an exciting day.
Now tell me, how come you guys got involved in this event?
Well, we wanted to get involved with Aspen. It's a great market for us. Range Rover and skiing seems to go together, and this is an event that's very important to this community.
I want to ask you one thing, Charlie, before I leave you. Have you stayed up all night?
Almost. I have to be honest, I caught a little cat nap at one point.
Well, Charlie, we all did. And in 1988, the Swiss team skiing right here today, Kindschi and Kindschi, were the ones to go 81 runs. And as they come down here now, they've done it again, 82 laps. But the question is, will they hold it? Because there's still more time. Ed McCaffrey might have been sick most of the night, but the U.S. team is hanging in there. This is their 81st lap. Chris Kent from Canada has 82 laps. The world record will be decided between him and the Swiss team. The record will belong to the man who finished the 83rd lap in the lowest elapsed time within 24 hours. The Swiss are strong, and they want it. They have some time to make up, though, on Kent. But at the bottom of the mountain, completing their 24 hours, the team from Japan, 80 laps. They won't break a world record, but not bad. And they're a little bit tired. But still going strong after nearly 24 hours and going for the world record is Chris Kent from Canada. The Swiss are right behind. It's very close. They're just a few seconds apart. Look at the tuck that the Swiss are in. Still racing side by side. And through the finish line, Hans Wallinger. He has 83 laps. However, since he started earlier, the other racers will have that later time to make up. It's going to be between Chris Kent and the Swiss. And here comes Kent down through the finish line. Okay, he's in the lead for the moment. Here come the Swiss. Still charging, still together. A very happy Chris Kent. And as the Swiss come down, almost hitting a stray dog here, they are close. But the winner, the new world record holder, skiing all by himself most of the night, Chris Kent from Canada. The Swiss win the team title. Their combined number of runs give them the championship. The Americans having one last run down the mountain. Perfect conditions here. What a great day to enjoy ski racing. But how about doing it for 24 hours? Werner Senn comes through, 81 runs for him. And Patrice Berguerand from France. All of these racers so happy to have completed 24 hours of ski racing. And the U.S. team of Scott Nichols and Ed McCaffrey. Probably not doing as well as they'd hoped because of the illness to Ed McCaffrey, but still, 82 laps isn't bad. A lot of fans out cheering for the Americans. They've seen them skiing on this mountain so many times over the years. But the winner, the new world record holder, Chris Kent. What a job when you realize going up and down that lift so many times by himself, skiing by himself. And what's absolutely amazing is that after 24 hours, the two Swiss are only 13 seconds behind. But what a day for Kent, because last year he wasn't in any kind of shape to be able to do what he did today.
Judging from last year's thing, I came into this one fearing riding the lift alone in the middle of the night, but I actually enjoyed it this time. I told everybody that I wanted to ride alone 1 out of 4 runs, and it was just a nice time to contemplate what was going on and get my head back together. Other times, I had a great time riding, riding the lift with all the girls, the masseuses and everything, and chatting away, but sometimes that gets your concentration off. And I just felt like I was in such a good groove that I didn't want to lose that, so I liked riding alone.
Well, congratulations. What are you going to do tonight?
Tonight, Bob, well, I've never stayed up this long before. I've never skied this long. Who knows what my legs are going to feel like. Last year, after 11 hours, my legs were completely stiff. But I don't know, this year I feel good. I think I had a good position the whole time. I don't think my legs are going to be so stiff. I think we'll be at the tattoo tonight.
Looks like they're all going to be at the tattoo tonight. As we see the teammates cooling off a little bit, enjoying just a little time to relax. And Rob Tooke congratulating his teammate. He would like to have been there with him.
Right, teammate. Team Canada. Hey.
Stay with us. We'll be back with more from the 24 Hours of Aspen. This beautiful weather in Aspen, Colorado is exactly the way it was 24 hours ago when this event started. This ESPN Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Range Rover, the most sensible driving car in the world. Chris Kent, the new world record holder, 83 runs down the mountain, congratulating the Swiss who won the team title.
All right, you too. Good race.
The Swiss winning that combined total, both runs down the mountain, 166 runs, but they were followed right behind by the teams from Austria, France, and the United States. What a great event here in Aspen.
I guess 3 times close to catching here, but then we have some bad luck on the bottom from the gondola. You know, we have a few gondola. There's one gondola not in space. And we lose about 10 seconds, and each gondola we lost it. So we was close to catching him up, and then we have some bad luck on the bottom, you know. And that's what's happened. That's part.
Now, you said that you were talking a lot up on the lift about what you're going to do tonight. What are you going to do tonight?
Yeah, tonight, big party. I mean, we have to celebrate this with all the friends we made. They helped us on the race, and I mean, we want to have a drink with them. Maybe 2.
Maybe 2?
2.
Congratulations, guys. It was great.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you very much.
I wonder when they're going to sleep. The racers will all return home tomorrow. Ed McCaffrey and Scott Nichols, of course, will stay right here in Aspen, Colorado. They're tired after 24 hours of racing, chasing up and down Aspen Mountain, but somehow the thrill of the moment will keep them awake. They have done something most of us who have skied all of our lives will never do: ski for 24 hours. Before they all say goodbye tomorrow, they'll celebrate tonight, not as racers who chased each other down the mountain here or scrambled to get in and out of those lifts, but as friends who love a sport and have shared an experience that only they can truly understand.